This is Metro City, crime capital of the world. Mike Hagar, mayor of Metro City and former street fighter, has been battling a ruthless gang known as the Mad Gear. For months, Cody and Guy have been training with Guy Sensei in Japan. Together with Hagar, they had hoped to drive the Mad Gear from Metro City. When Guy returned to Metro City early, he found himself caught in the Mad Gear's evil plot. Sometime in the 1990s. Hello, Mike Hagar here. Mr. Hagar, I'm so pleased to make your acquaintance. I believe you know who I am. Don't hang up on me, Mr. Hagar. Your daughter's life may depend on it. I'm sure you know what I mean. What? Who is this? What's happened to Jessica? Not so fast, Mike. Turn on your TV. You fiend. What have you done to her? Nothing yet, but we will if you don't cooperate. Keep the cops out of our business and let us do as we please like the former mayor did. I'll be in touch. What? Jessica was kidnapped? Cody is still in Japan. I guess it is up to me to rescue her. Kina dayo. Hello everyone, This is Kina Via here with Final Fight Guy, a Super Nintendo game. Apparently it's the second installment maybe of the Final Fight series on the Super Nintendo, maybe. There was Final Fight before it, and then they made Final Fight Guy right after, apparently. But I also learned that apparently there was an NES game called Mighty Final Fight as well, which I don't know anything about actually, so I may need to take a look at that at some point. But this game, or at least the Final Fight series, has a bit of history that I was looking up. But as far as me though, my first time seeing a game like this, or playing a game like this, was at an older cousin's house when I was very, very young. I had a lot of fun playing this, even though I didn't really understand what was going on, but it's a beat 'em up. It's you know, you're basically cleaning up Metro City of the gangs and thugs and stuff, because you are a, well, street fighter apparently. I do know about, I think this was the game where I was first introduced to Hagar though. It's interesting that this guy's name is just Guy. But apparently in the Final Fight version, as Guy mentions at the end of the cutscene or the intro, the other main character was Cody instead. I can only assume that that's the same Cody that's in Street Fighter games. But I'm not entirely sure. I played Street Fighter on Super Nintendo, same cousin's house, a while back, but I was never good at it. So, you know. Oh yeah, so you can do regular attacks, and like it's a one button attack, but you can jump and attack too. But if you jump and attack at the same time and it connects with the enemy, you lose a bit of health, because it's basically like invincibility in a way, but you don't want to use it too often. So what I usually do is jump then kick, so that I don't end up losing that health, and you get more agency as well. But I guess this game itself didn't really have too much controversy, but original Final Fight did. The regions as well. I will show footage of the Japanese version of Final Fight for Super Famicom, showing some differences. But I guess the main one that most people probably know about at this point in time is about how some characters were changed. Poison and Roxy, the female characters, were changed to, I think one of them's name is Billy. I don't remember the other one, but we will probably run into them, if I recall correctly. Obviously there were some name changes between international and Japanese as well, but not all of them. Only a few names were changed. I'm not sure what that was about. But then again, the 90s were very different. I think the original Final Fight came out in 1989. So it's always interesting. Oh, here we go. Well, no. Oh yeah, no, Sid I think is, yeah, it's Sid. Sid is one of them. Sid is the one that was changed from Roxy, I believe. Because Roxy had orange hair and Poison had pink hair. So, but yeah, they basically changed all the characters to be men because, you know, obviously to not condone violence against women as well. But that leads me to wonder, oh, I got an extra life. It makes me wonder about, oh, gosh, it makes me wonder about Street Fighter in general, because you have Chun-Li, you had Chun-Li in Street Fighter games anyway. So it's not like they decided to ban Chun-Li from Street Fighter or anything like that. There's like no real way to get out of Thrasher's way whenever he does that. It's very aggravating since he gets on the perch there to have his cronies do the work. So he whistles and then more cronies come out and then I have to just try my best to dodge. Yeah, there we go. Otherwise it's just a cheap shot. He's already much bigger than I am, even bigger than Hagar actually. But you know, bad guys do bad things, right? See, I shouldn't have done that attack because now I've lost some health. And I don't have very many lives. You may think that 5 is a lot, but the amount of damage that you take in this game is kind of absurd. And apparently this game has difficulties too, which I didn't know about. I think it's easy, normal, hard, and very hard maybe? I'm not sure. I don't know what the difficulty is automatically set to. But apparently you can choose with a button combination that I don't know about. Maybe I will display that at some point. But yeah, so the weird controversy thing was that since the character was just changed to like a guy, there was like a thought that apparently Poison was like trans. I don't know why it was the main focus was on Poison specifically, since it was Poison and Roxy in this game. Oh, another thing too, the knives when they're thrown in the Japanese version of the original. Oh, it's Billy. So I was right. It's Billy and Sid. With knives and swords in the Japanese version, there was like a blood splatter, but they took that out in the international version. So it's like, it's pretty clear that this is a violent game. It's basically street fight, right? You're fighting crime for the most part. But they were trying to, I guess, fit specific guidelines maybe, depending on where you live too. But the international changes were affected. It affected both, you know, basically anywhere outside of Japan. So, PAL, European, UK, and North America and stuff like that. But it's definitely a fun little beat 'em up to play. It's not overly difficult in terms of controls, but once you get to like a certain point, it can definitely be difficult. See, now I went from 5 to 4 already. And depending on who the characters are, the health bar will be a different color, and of course that would mean that they have more health. So I think it goes from yellow to green, and probably green to blue. I don't know if there actually is blue, but green usually means more health than usual. It doesn't necessarily dictate that it's a boss, it just dictates that they have more health. Like Andre Jr. usually has green health, I believe. And of course, pick up as many items as possible because your lives, you get points based on what you pick up as well. So you can get more lives that way. So pick up everything basically. Especially if it's a non-weapon, since it's literally just points. I don't know if food is health actually. I didn't take a look at that. But yeah, so the controversy thing with like Poison or what have you. is that since the characters were changed to, I guess Poison would have been Billy, since Roxy, because like Billy's hair color is green, but Sid's hair color is orange, just like Roxy's. So people were thinking that since they changed that for Poison, that Poison was basically trans or something, or that they became trans male or something like that. Because if you look at the outfit hasn't really changed at all. From what if you actually take a look, like I said, I will show footage of the JP version of original Final Fight from Super Famicom 3DS VC. Because I played a little bit of that before doing this video, because I was curious. I usually like to look up if there are like any regional differences to a game before I also show what I have as well. So not only am I playing a game, oh, this is actual Andor and not Andor Jr. I like to play the games that I grew up with or grew up playing, even from cousins' houses. And then I like to do some research to see where the games came from, development and all that, regional differences, and all that type of stuff. Ah! Well then. But yeah, so since I played the game before, I had a lot of fun with it. Though, like I said, I did play the original Street Fighter. Or whichever game that my cousin had for Super Nintendo. I found it to be difficult. I was never good at Street Fighter though. But I did enjoy the experience. But this game in particular, I did have a lot of fun playing despite not really understanding what was going on. As a kid, I'm just like, oh, it's a beat 'em up, you know? Or I was playing with my cousin. See, Elgato has green health, so they have more health. Elgato. I guess that's the thing though, with video games you really shouldn't take things too seriously. And I guess some regions do understand that, but the reason why games do get changed internationally is because of the standards that are set within the area and stuff like that. But there are more differences too. Like I think skin tones were changed from darker to lighter. Like here you can't really tell, but once I show the other footage, you can tell that skin tone change was different, or skin tone was different. One thing I do know is that this guy is actually very brutal. I think the best way to fight him is with Hagar, mostly because you can actually grab him. What this guy likes to do is well, he's strong regardless, but if you knock out a sword, then he's gonna bum rush you because he wants to get his sword back. His main priority, I think, is to get his sword back, or I guess bum rush you first and then get the sword. But it takes out a lot of health. Oh, okay. So I can actually throw with him, but Hagar is a wrestler, so. So I guess we'll use Hagar now. I think I've only ever gotten past Katana, and I've never really gotten... Actually, I take that back. I think the furthest I've ever gotten was I got to the next part and I got to like the boss of the area, because there's a bar as well. I got to the boss of that area and then I lost because I don't think I could figure out how to beat him properly or something like that. But the Final Fight games were in the arcade, so that lets you know the difficulty, because arcade games were meant to be difficult so that you would put in coins over and over to actually get more money out of the people playing, and to get, you know, people want to try again, you know, over and over. see if they can do better and stuff like that. So, and a lot of times difficulties aren't changed over time whenever the games get ported from arcade to console. Or at least it is nice for some games to actually have the difficulty within, like as a level, like a difficulty select, even if it's a button combination. I have no health on this live. Yep. But yeah, I don't know. I grew up around these times, funnily enough. Well, I was a kid. I was very young. I was born in the 90s. But like, you know, there was always a lot of campaigning and stuff, or like how companies had to send out, you know, we apologize for including this sort of thing within the game and stuff like that, because at this point in time, obviously we're not trying to condone certain things. We don't condone like certain acts of violence and this and that in real life. Like what you see in a video game shouldn't be something that you do in real life, is basically the thing, right? I know that we have different inspirations for doing certain things, but I don't think that a video game should turn you into like a criminal or something like that. So I don't condone actual violence or anything like that, but obviously this is a video game. Just a beat 'em up of some sort. There were a lot of beat 'em ups like these actually, reskinned or just using different characters. I think there's a Sailor Moon one actually that's like that too. In fact, I even think Senran Kagura or even River City Girls or something like that is kind of like that too. So there were a lot of games like that. Or they were just beat 'em up, go through the city, and defeat the big bad, or defeat the gang leader or something like that, rival leader, and stuff like that. Turf Wars, I think it's called, or something like that. There's a lot of that, a lot of those types of games. Don't have very many lives, huh? But I guess that's the thing. The good thing about living in current year is that if you were ever interested in seeing how a game was initially or originally or in a different region, you can actually take a look. Wow, I lost lives that quickly. Game is no joke. But let me know in the sushi. Let me know in the comments if you've ever seen Final Fight or Final Fight Guy, or if you've had getting to life, or if you have any experience with the series or the game, because I know they ended up putting Hagar in like Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom as well. It made me remember that this was a Capcom game actually. But yeah, I find this to be a really fun game. Obviously it can be frustrating if you take it too seriously, but the whole thing about games like this is to try and figure out how to get around certain obstacles. Not every game is going to be super simple, and like I said, this did start off as an arcade game, so but if you can see the map at the beginning, I think that's how many levels there are, and I've only gotten to like 3 of them at most playing this game. So I'm glad I still have this cart. I don't remember if this was my cousin's cart or if it was just a hand-me-down cart from someone else, but I'm just glad I still have it. I was wondering if it was going to work. I actually had to put alcohol to the contacts in order to get it to work, because it is an ordered cart that I have, so I had to do a little thorough cleaning. I can't get past this guy. Well, I mean I could, I just have to figure it out. have to figure out his oh, I really want to try it. So this will be my final try. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess it's like 5 levels maybe. So you would think, oh, it's a short game, but obviously there's a difficulty to the getting through the area or dealing with the enemies. There are codes you can put in, I think, or like a button combination, or maybe like, or at least maybe in the original. I'm not sure about this one, but I think you could like get a little bit more lives, kind of like how with Contra there's a Konami code maybe. But you would, like I said, you would think 5 lives, 6 lives, that's a lot. But I'm sure there's probably like videos online of people taking no damage playing this game, because people are very impressive. Actually, yeah, Andor Jr. is very aggravating to deal with, so you have to make sure that you just attack them as much as you possibly can before they go into their animations. But yeah, there's nothing like being able to go back to a game that you grew up with and relive some of that, or just approach it with an older mindset. Now understanding things a lot more than you did before and stuff like that, or just learning of the history of the games too. So the sound effects too. I really like the sound effects. Sound effects, voice clips, all that type of stuff. Oh. Okay. Oh. But yeah, break barrels, get items, get as many points as you can. Ah. The grunts are so funny to me. What doesn't really make too much sense to me is that I would have thought that it would have made more sense if Guy and Cody were working together to save Jessica, because Hagar is the mayor. Like, you wouldn't expect the mayor, or you wouldn't think of the mayor to leave his post to go out and do something so dangerous. That's kind of like the point in having other people to do stuff like that for you. But then again, it is Hagar's daughter, so there's a direct connection to that. So then if that's the case though, who is like actually taking care of the city then? Who's the vice mayor, if it were? But see, look, I'm looking in it too deeply, right? It's a video game, right? But I guess it's because these are human characters, right? So you then think, like, since this is a real life type of situation, you know, someone kidnaps a family member, so you need to figure out what you need to do to make sure that your family member is safe and stuff like that. So maybe that's another reason why they decided to do what they did with localization and what have you. See, now I'm down to like technically 2 lives, so I'm not doing very well. Game's hard. I kind of wonder if this version is more difficult than the Japanese version. You usually wouldn't think so, but there are some games that are actually more difficult North America or USA versus Japanese. Even though apparently I think the USA version came out a year after the Japanese version, like a whole year or so. But maybe it's the arcade mindset too. I don't know if Final Fight Guy was actually in arcades, or if it was strictly Super Nintendo. But either or, it is a nice game to like put on and play and talk. Despite the difficulty and stuff like that. Once again, it's another one of those games where it's like, oh, I played this for the first time and I learned about some characters as well. So I didn't really know who Guy was. I didn't know who Hagar was. But I've seen Hagar at least in more than one thing now. So... see, he's on a different plane now. I have to figure out how to actually approach him. Ah! Okay. See, that's very immediate. I don't know how you would even stop that. But yeah, swords and knives do a lot of damage. I even missed that whirlwind there. So you can understand like the frustration that people would have. Ah. So final life. Honestly, his health is almost gone though. But he could still knock me out very early because swords do a lot of damage. Yeah, see. Okay, cool. There we go. Nope. I was called the Masamune. So his name is Katana and the weapon is a Masamune. So round 2 is clear, but I have no lives, so... oh hey, bonus stage. People should know about the breaking car thing, right? It's like a Street Fighter staple, I think. This is a very unfortunate thing though. Okay, so what do I do now? Oh. Oh. Well, there's that. Imagine going to like a gas pump and just destroying someone's car like that. For no real reason. You know? Oh my god. Oh my god. And of course that was a change that was made as well. In the Japanese version. They say, oh my god. Right? I could show that as well, I guess. Oh my god. Many different differences, obviously. For obvious reasons. But this is the furthest I've ever gotten, I think. Even as a kid. Well, not as a kid. I think when I was playing on like... when I was a teenager playing on like an emulator, the furthest I ever got was past the club, I guess. And that was it. I didn't get any further. So... but... game's hard. Game's fun. Game's difficult. I think that's one thing that's really nice about playing games like these, because it's not that the game is so difficult that it's out of reach to actually like have fun with it. You feel like that there is some progression. This was changed from bar to club. Also, this is animated. I think bar wasn't animated in the Japanese one. One thing I can say about... oh, that's very interesting. One thing I can say about this is that apparently in the original, the bar didn't have as many people in it. There was like some sort of layering error that had happened in the Japanese version, I think. But I think it got fixed specifically here as well, so. Oh yeah, these guys are scary. Actually, I'm not gonna get any more lives either, unfortunately. So one thing I think is really funny to is that Slash in the corner, I can't really show it anymore, but Slash in the corner, I have a little bit more to say, I guess. But Slash reminds me of Robert from King of Fighters, West Side. I could probably show an image of that as well. I don't know if the resemblance is supposed to be, because obviously King of Fighters and Street Fighter are not like the same property at all. But that's the character I think of, or the person I think of whenever I see him. But yeah, so the game is really fun. And I'm having fun playing, even though it's definitely difficult. So yeah, I have a strong attachment to this game. I never owned it until, well, me showcasing it to you guys now. And I didn't have to buy it because, like, it was handed down to me when my cousin was getting rid of his system. So, granted, I had the cart, but I couldn't actually play on the Super Nintendo because I think there was a connector that broke. So I couldn't actually plug it into the power at all because of that. But luckily, I was gifted. I was like humbly gifted the Super Famicom. And so that made me want to actually delve into playing the games on the system if I have them, or if the cart or cassettes are actually cheap enough to get, be it Japanese or English, because the Super Famicom is actually, since it's from Japan, it runs NTSC, which is very interesting because the Super Famicom and the Super Nintendo in the PAL regions actually look exactly the same. But if PAL runs NTSC games, then the games are gonna run differently because of the different hertz between 50 and 60 and stuff like that. But North America did get a different Super Nintendo, and this probably has more to do with the gaming crash bit, which is why the original Nintendo Entertainment System looks so different from the Famicom itself, the family computer, as well. So lots of differences in regions at different times and what was going on at the time. So lots of history between all of this stuff. Oh. Okay. But yeah, as a kid, I didn't really know what was going on. I just saw that it was a beat 'em up and it was really fun to do. Like, this is fun. I like the animations. The animations are done really well. Oh. Oh my. Oh no. Oh. I don't remember this at all. I'm gonna have a very hard time. Oh. Ah. Well, I'm glad I got here to this part, but it is very difficult. Ah. F and door. I like the music. Oh. I don't think there's a way to get out of those animations actually. Oh. Okay. Well, this will be my ticket, I guess, if I hit them, but I guess not. Apparently you can pick up a weapon twice. If it drops twice, then it disappears. I don't think I'm gonna be able to win this. When you play games like this, you can't use normal logic. You have to actually see if you can cheese them, since they're gonna choose you, right? Okay, what's going on here? Oh no. Oh. Ah! The bull rush. But yeah, if I can stun them, then I'll be okay, I think. But that's the hard part. If they keep enough distance, then I guess I can't stun them, can I? Oh. Like, this is the best I can do. Like a flying kick. So I hope you like screams. and yells and stuff. Well, okay. But yeah, get points before time runs out. Time isn't a huge issue because they don't really work like actual seconds. They're a lot longer than actual seconds, it seems. I'm not entirely sure why. So it's not a huge issue. Okay. Yeah, sometimes it'll say go even though I'm still fighting enemies. I'm not sure why. But hey, we're at the edge here, so I know that the enemies are only going to appear from one side, right? It's not entirely true, actually. Based on boundaries. Oh. Yeah, the Super Nintendo era was definitely an interesting one. Oh. Okay. So, oh wow. What's his name? Eddie? Eddie. I think this is the furthest I have ever gotten. Wow, he's burly. What the heck? Ah. Yep, and that's it. Yeah. So we got that far. But yeah. Oh, hey. X K N. X is Kina Vira. But yeah, it's a hard game. But very fun, very fun. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Mite kurete arigato, kite kurete arigato. If you enjoyed this, I hope you will enjoy more videos that I make, because I do like going down memory lane and making videos on the games that I've played before as a kid, if I can find them. Sometimes I have the physical, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I play on virtual console, but hopefully I hope that is fine enough, and I hope it was entertaining enough as well. But I am Kina Vira, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye. Mata ne.